Good evening. We're here at 8 p.m. ish, kind of, on a Sunday evening with Xbox Tavern episode 63rd this week. I am Jamie, once again joined by Graham.
Hello.
MPV Graham.
Oh.
Millie Man Ian.
Hello.
And the return of the beleaguered but much pleasure to see. I don't know what that was. Scottish Gruff Ross is back.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you feeling, sir?
Much better. Still a wee bit of the cough, but apart from that, doing good.
Good. Like I said before, you sound a lot healthier than the last time.
It wouldn't be hard. Didn't have to disappear mid-show and run up to A&E.
Yes. I'm glad to see you on the mend.
Much appreciated.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you back. It's just for receiving. Dan's not joining us. He's forgotten his safe word. Right. Can we get into the swing of things, please? Let's get into the video game news. And there is
just a little one.
Video game news.
Was there not much news this week, wasn't there? I don't think it was that big.
Nothing big, at least.
I don't know about you guys. I mean, Ian, I know myself and this new chatting about this briefly earlier this week, but Ross, you're welcome back. What would you do with $68.7 billion?
Buy
2 massive video game companies?
That sounds like a great idea.
Sounds like a pretty good
Graham,
one.
what about yourself? You got any grand ideas for spending that amount of money?
I thought I did, but I mean, what Ross said just seemed like such a good idea.
Doesn't it? It really does.
But why not?
If you got it, flaunt it.
Exactly. And apparently Mr. Big Daddy Phil has got it because he spent that amount on Activision Blizzard / King, which is
Candy Crush for the win.
Ludicrous amount of money to play.
That's where they're getting the most money from.
I hope they gave him like unlimited lives when he plays Candy Crush now, so he hasn't got to keep buying the microtransactions.
By the little fish.
So obviously that sort of shook the gaming world to its core on Monday, Tuesday this week when they announced that they purchased Activision Blizzard / King for a frankly stupid amount of money, almost inconceivable amount of money. So I'll just very quickly go through what he said here. He said, as a team, we're on a mission to extend the joy and community of gaming to everyone on the planet. We all know that gaming is the most vibrant and dynamic form of entertainment worldwide, and we've experienced the power of social connection and friendship that gaming makes possible. And then I think he put his fingers together like that. And doves flew out from behind him.
Excellent.
Children, choir started singing. As we pursue that mission, it is incredibly exciting to announce that Microsoft has agreed to acquire Activision. I can't say either of them. Activision Blizzard / King. He always seems to forget them all. So it goes on for a lot longer than that, obviously, but the basic gist of it is they bought them and all the games and all their franchises, etc., which obviously means things such as Call of Duty, Candy Crush again, Diablo, Overwatch, StarCraft.
Fucking StarCraft.
World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft.
To haunt you, hasn't it?
And
fucking
10 ton of other games.
I was ahead of the curve, that's all it was. I had inside knowledge. That's what it was.
You knew already what was happening.
Yeah. So, Ross, if you just want to, throw out any other,
any other games that you fancy, I'll just drop it to Phil
to bring it in. So, yes, that and many more. I'll find a list of the games in a minute. I'll read them out.
It's a massive list.
It's a massive list, but obviously the big ones are those 6 really, which I imagine things like Call of Duty, Overwatch, etc. StarCraft perhaps come to Game Pass. World of Warcraft might figure in there somewhere. I'm not sure what they do with Candy Crush. You can't really play that.
I suppose you can play it on your
console.
Play it on your phone and just get sort of achievements through that.
True. Yeah,
if you're playing Candy Crush on a console, you're in trouble.
You've got issues.
You need to rethink your life.
I've played a lot of worse games than Candy Crush on console.
Yeah, especially if you bought yourself a nice new Series X or S. People are struggling to get one. What game are you playing this evening? Candy Crush. No.
You know what?
Right. No.
The ones that I didn't even think of, and it wasn't until I'd seen that they want to bring back franchises and things like that. So like Guitar Hero, apparently that's high up on the list to get that brought back. But it's going to be so strange that Xbox now owns Crash and Spyro.
Yeah, that's a bit spooky,
it's like,
considering it's all PlayStation.
It's just like a major. Like,
we're slowly making our own Smash Brothers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Maybe that's Big Daddy Phil's plan all along. He's like, I can't make a Smash Brothers game yet because I haven't got the characters. So just buy everybody.
I'll have it.
Chuck them in. They just got to buy Nintendo and add all them in.
Boom.
Yeah, he had a try, but yeah.
Well, yeah, they did have a try back in the day. But yeah, so while I look up this list of other games they've acquired now, Ross, tell us your thoughts. Tell us your opinions.
I think it's awesome. I don't think it's going to be massive in regards to current franchises for like exclusivity. I don't think they're stupid enough or cost themselves money to take COD away from Sony, for example. I don't think they'll only have that on Xbox. I think you'll maybe get like the DLCs will arrive earlier on Xbox, and you'll get customizables and shit like that that'll only be on Xbox. But I don't think you'll see them moving first party type idea, or only on Xbox. Bringing back the old franchises was quite cool. When I was a massive Guitar Hero fan back in the day when it first launched. So if they're bringing that back, that'd be awesome. It's just another feather in the cap for Microsoft. It's another set of studios that are going to be putting out AAA games, more sort of spotlight on everything that Microsoft are doing right this current generation compared to the fuck up that they had last time. It's just bringing all the momentum back to Xbox. As much as Sony have still put out an amazing console and they're still going to have amazing games, Microsoft now has the exact same, and they have more of it at a more accessible way of doing stuff with Game Pass.
It's that accessibility that's the key, I think, because I've listened to a lot of opinions over the last week of people for it, people against it and stuff, but that seems to be the main takeaway is, whereas before you obviously had to buy the games every year and you might not necessarily, like PS5 had like, or PlayStation had the exclusive on DLC for Call of Duty for what, a year or something, was it, for some of the
more than
modes
that?
and
I think it
maps
was it not like two and a half generations?
I think the last, it might have been
because I remember Black Ops had a lot of stuff that was PlayStation exclusive,
and there was
PlayStation
more there
timed.
with that Spec Ops mode or something, wasn't that was specific to PlayStation or Xbox. Whereas here, obviously, you've got a Game Pass subscription. You just get, well, in theory, you should just get a hold of all of that, which I know it kind of flips the coin the other way. So effectively, it might take it away from PlayStation, but it'd be easier. Or it's spread out your PC game, Xbox, and the cloud to play them now, which is nice and lovely. Graham, I know you're not a massive Activision fan in terms of Call of Duty and things like that, but is there anything that sort of you're interested by this acquisition?
Yeah, there's still plenty of titles to play. Things like Diablo, I did dabble in. World of Warcraft when it started, not so much now. Call of Duty, not interested in that at all. But I mean, Blizzard did do, I think, quite a few games back in the day that I was kind of interested in. Yeah. So it could be some of, if they do sequels to the sort of older style games, then yeah, definitely could be interested on that. My only thing is, it's like, when are they going to sort of stick their ass in PlayStation's face with it? This is no different to saying, like, we've agreed like a deal with Activision for a lower amount to have all the games on Game Pass. But if nothing's going to change and sort of PlayStation are still going to get the titles, it kind of doesn't mean too much that the fact that they've bought them, unless they're going to do something, a sort of no in PlayStation's face, which Phil doesn't seem to have any interest in doing. You'd think, what's the taunt with it? If you've got them, what are you going to try and do to sort of either make PlayStation pay more for the titles, to sort of try and screw them over? I mean,
Well, I suppose all of this is conjecture till they find it, because they said very similar things with Bethesda when we plan to honor existing agreements, or we plan to honor legacy titles on those platforms, stuff like that. But then once they'd actually bought them, they said, right, Starfield's exclusive, Elder Scrolls is exclusive, all future titles will just continue to support the older ones.
That's what I think it'll be. I think the things like maybe Overwatch, because Overwatch 2 is obviously just due to come out in the next X amount of time, and Call of Duty, I think games like that they'll keep on both things, but then the team behind sort of, say, Diablo, for example, they'll get taken to one side to build a game that's only for Microsoft. And then games like StarCraft, for example, or Warcraft, they'll only be on PC because they're not going to go over to console anyway. But there'll be games that they'll let Sony have that will be beneficial for Microsoft, Overwatch, Call of Duty, games that will constantly bring in money for them. But it means that they're going to have other developers, other creative heads coming up with game ideas that they'll then push to only be part of the sort of Xbox family. So I think they won't make a big song and dance of we're going to take Call of Duty, we're going to take Overwatch, and you're never going to be able to play them on PlayStation, because that's going to cut their nose off to spite their face. But it's a studio that can then come up and say, okay, you've got God of War, this is what we'll make. You've got Horizon Zero Dawn, this is what we'll make. And I think that's the way Phil wants to play it. He doesn't want to do it like a war. He just wants to say, well, look at all the great things Xbox are doing without pissing on Sony.
Yeah, because they've kind of taken all of the Activision studios basically Call of Duty farmers now, haven't they? So they all work on them. Even the people, like you said, that work on Guitar Hero, Skylanders, Spyro, Cash, they all went, right, you've done your fun game now. Now you're getting the grind. Make some fucking people shoot people in the face, please.
Well, that's like the picture that you've got for like, the Xbox, Blizzard, Activision King, and it's got like Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, Warcraft. When you start looking at the names that are at the bottom of that are not the big headlines, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, all the
Raven.
like Raven, everything that's to do with Call of Duty or Black Ops or whatever it is they've done it is now under the Microsoft banner. So there's no reason that you can't have Infinity War working on the next Call of Duty, and Treyarch and Sledgehammer are then doing something else to go and make another game solely for Microsoft.
So let's get into the Call of Duty side of things before we carry on. I'll go around, do a quick round table as we like to do. Do you think it will go exclusive, like completely, or do you think they'll just get extra, like, you know, early access to DLC or what have you, or do you think they'll keep it on PlayStation because as you said, Ross, they're going to effectively cut off probably a large percentage of their player base who would play it, but by doing that, would they then convince them to buy an Xbox to play it? So, Ian, you've been quiet. Let's go with you first. What do you reckon? Exclusive, or are they going to keep it multi-platform?
Exclusive. Maybe not the next title. Maybe they've already got a business plan ready for that, a contract. The ones afterwards, I can't see why they won't be. It's a way to get people to go to the console, really, surely. Exactly.
Such a big deal. I mean, I don't know about all of you, but I'm pretty sure, Ian, some of the guys we play with GTA with sometimes, if they weren't already playing on Xbox, I would imagine they would, because that's one of their main games, I think.
Yeah, they love Call of Duty, so
they would just follow it to an Xbox console. Graham?
Yeah, I think that's the same. If they're ever going to sort of push people away from Sony, making those ones exclusive, because they're just like the one game console cheap party ones, like you were saying, that they only buy a console for that particular game.
Yeah.
So if it's only on one console, then they ain't got much choice.
Let's just think of it this way. They spent $5 billion and people were going, they wouldn't spend that much money and make their games exclusive, and they did. I mean, 6-7 billion, and they're still thinking, they're still making them exclusive, because surely that will mean money back anyway. You're going to make it exclusive. You're not going to give it to the other party and say, oh, yeah, look, you can have our games as well.
You can still have it. But again, I suppose that's a hell of a lot more money. So they've still got to try and recoup it somehow. And keeping it multi-platform would at least facilitate that somewhat, I imagine. But
I read somewhere, I can't remember where I read it, but an article, like when they announced the Bethesda deal and it was only $5 million, I think they made that back in less than 2 months. So
on a year. But there's a difference between 7 and a bit billion and nearly 70 billion.
70 billion,
And then
Ross, it makes it 10 months time, 12 months time.
And obviously, Ross, you're of the opinion that they'll keep it multi-platform. From
I think they'll keep it sharing across. I think I know the other issue that there was with this was the Blizzard CEO Kotick?
That's the Activision CEO, yeah.
Activision CEO.
We'll get into him, don't worry.
Oh, I was going to say, because I know a lot of people would say obviously it was a bit of a bad move for Microsoft having him as part of the discussions, and then more and more that I'm seeing it's a case of as soon as the ink's dried on the paper, he's gone.
Basically, yeah.
So it's a necessary evil at the moment that he has to be there to get it over the line, and then as soon as it's over the line, good luck in your future endeavours.
Give him a which will undoubtedly be, unfortunately, probably a large payday for him, and then be like, off into the sunset you go. Right, one more very quick roundtable, then we'll go into some of this list of games here I've got that we want to see come back. Do you keeping on Call of Duty? Do you think they will remain with the yearly releases, or do you think they will push it back. So for example, as we said, every studio is basically working on Call of Duty at the minute, which is how they get one out every year, because they have 2 studios working on 1 year, 2 studios next, blah, blah, and then they just cycle through. If they go back to just say Infinity Ward and maybe Treyarch, they're going to have to take longer. So do you think we might see it every 2, 3, 4 years? And if they do, is that another way that's going to be affecting them getting their money back effectively, because they're not going to have that guaranteed massive seller every single year? Ross, you go first.
Haven't they already confirmed that they're not going to be doing a yearly release anymore?
I haven't seen anything like that, but I mean, I suppose they can't confirm anything until the ink is dry, as you say.
Yeah, I thought they had already been saying that they fully expect them to stop doing a yearly release for Call of Duty. I don't think it'll be a bad thing. I think the taking a break and coming back might be more beneficial. Look at what happened with Assassin's Creed. When they took a break, refreshed the game, came out, was fantastic. I'm not a big Call of Duty player, so it's not going to affect me either way. But I think Microsoft have enough studios for one, and enough nuance to go, we don't need to be pushing these guys to put out a Call of Duty every year, because we've got other games that can fill in this market. Yeah. So
especially with all the other, especially shooter studios like Machine Games and 343 and Coalition and stuff like that.
So I'd much rather they put out a Call of Duty every two and a half years, for example, and then focused on making it old Call of Duties, like the ones where you had to play it because it was really good. Yeah. And none of this shit that they put out recently.
Then support the multiplayer for longer, basically. So rather than every year, basically, you have to reset and relearn the multiplayer skill set and trees. Now they can just extend it, add in new maps, modes and stuff, where more like a live service game, like Warzone or Fortnite or whatever, Apex.
Yeah, Warzone makes where they make the money, though, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. So if they can actually improve,
buy them Rambo skins, Grey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if they can prove Warzone, I mean, at the moment it's quite unstable, but if they can keep putting stuff into Warzone, that's where the money is at the moment. So, I mean, imagine if I know this never happened, but imagine they pulled Warzone from PlayStation and made that Xbox exclusive. I mean, obviously there's really got pre-contracts, they couldn't do that.
Yeah, that would be pushing them, but pushing their luck, I think, because as you say, that's where they make a hell of a lot of money, I imagine.
Yeah. But then I think still, but then again, that's probably think, if we keep Warzone on PlayStation, every time someone buys a skin on PlayStation or buys those season pass, it's coming straight to Microsoft now.
Yeah.
So you're playing Warzone on the PlayStation, but you're supporting Microsoft now. So,
they should put that as like a purchase notice. Thank you for supporting Microsoft on it.
Yeah, it's easy to buy something. I mean, brilliant.
So, sort of just going off this, Big Daddy Phil put out a tweet a couple of days ago now. And he said they had good calls of this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honour all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard /King, and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship. So again, it's a bit of word salad there, where he's going existing agreements, desire to keep Call of Duty on there, but he doesn't say we'll continue to release new titles. So reading into that is it's got to be more, as you say, Warzone, keep that on there, maybe update that with stuff related to the new Call of Duty games, and then tempt people over, you could come to Xbox and play the actual game. Here's a skin from the new game, and it's a weapon or something,
But you can easily go like, here's a new map in Warzone, but only PlayStation and PC users can use it first.
Yeah.
And then PlayStation users will get it later.
Yeah. So let's go into the list of games that they've picked up other than Call of Duty that we haven't sort of seen for a while. So there's a list. There's about 30 odd games here, I think. I won't read them all, but the highlights: Graham's favorite, Blur, fantastic racing game on the 360. One that I actually think you would like because it's got power ups and it's more of an arcadey style thing rather than just a hardcore racer like Forza and stuff like that. Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, like I said, DJ Hero, Guitar Hero, Geometry Wars. We haven't seen one of them for a long time. Gun, Hearthstone. I'm quite excited to get that on Game Pass because I quite like Hearthstone back in the day. So I'd like to be able to play that on my phone or something. On Game Pass even, sorry. Tenchu, the old games. So we can't get any new Tenchus, but I'd like to see them re-release the old ones if possible. Tony Hawk's True Crime, and everybody's favorite, Zork. And sorry, I skipped over one which I was pointing out, and I'll chat me and Ian and Dan did the other day. Singularity. Ross, have you played Singularity?
No.
Great. I don't think you would have played it, great, but
doesn't ring a bell.
It's fantastic shooter. It's kind of, well, I definitely don't think you would like to go because it's kind of a mix of Portal meets Half-Life in like a futuristic setting. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. Excellent game. That was the last game Raven did, I think, before they got sucked into Call of Duty. Yeah, really, really good. So I'm hoping to, at least, even if they just re-release a 360 version on back compat, I'd be happy with that. So does anything there sort of float your boat, anybody? What else we got? Spyro?
Spyro, what depends what can really do with new Spyro.
Well,
will they make a new Spyro, do you think?
Could do. Get a rare on the case or something. Or Double Fine, maybe.
A new Ultimate Alliance game. Take that.
That'd be good, actually.
Yeah.
That isn't CAC. They need to really improve it.
Yeah.
The first and second one were fantastic.
I was going to say.
I know, but they haven't aged well.
Oh, no, they haven't aged well at all. But they were great games to play.
Oh yeah, at the time they were awesome.
Try to think what other ones.
So we've got Pitfall, Police Quest, Prototype. Anybody like Prototype?
Prototype was good.
Prototype very much.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. That was all right.
So yes, we've got plenty of games that hopefully will be chucked in Game Pass, back and pat.
Another big one that I didn't realise as well, it's only just because I'm reading the article on VG 24/7, is Sakiro. Shadows Die Twice. It was actually published and funded by Activision as much as it was Bandai. So that one's another one that could end up in Game Pass if they get the rights to it all. Yeah,
it's the thing. There's many people, as I said to you the other day, that understand the legalities and the business speak and the money and everything. But in an ideal world, we just see all of these games chucked on Game Pass for more value-added bonus and all that sort of stuff. Cool.
Let's not forget Bubble Witch Saga as well from King.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I must admit the mobile games are out of my wheelhouse, so I'll let you take that one.
Heroes of the Storm as well.
My parents play that shit.
But it might be the old school Warcraft back as well, 1 to 3.
I would actually love to be able to jump into them now that I've entered the world of PC gaming and do like all the Warcrafts with all the sort of expansions and stuff like that.
So what about World of Warcraft then?
That's the RTS, isn't it?
No, World of
Warcraft MMO.
Oh yeah, no. So I'd like to jump into that, but I'd like to play the RTS. What one's that?
Yeah,
that's Warcraft 1.
Yeah, so that
2, 3.
Those I would enjoy, but I would much rather jump into the actual World of Warcraft type idea.
Yeah. So some people were speculating we could get the monthly fee included in Game Pass, or perhaps discounted or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would that be tempting to get anyone? I know Ian's obviously big into it. Gray,
100%
back into it.
Oh no, not World of Warcraft. No, I'm not touching that again. That'd be like starting
say once.
No, especially with getting back into Skyrim. Not World of Warcraft's even bigger, and there's so much kind of crap.
See, I missed all of this at first. I never even looked at PCs for gaming purposes when I was younger. So, I would be sort of engulfed by everything to do with Warcraft if it did come to Game Pass.
Yeah, you never get to do, unless you sort of have a group of friends, or you never really got to do anything fun. Warcraft. It was just a lot of repetition, at least days,
and grinding and.
But I think I think we like something like Discord these days. Like if you're having Discord and having a new Warcraft type or a new influx of Warcraft players with Discord, where you can set up groups specifically for specific games. You're going to see you could see a massive influx of new players into Warcraft and easy to sort of squad up because of things like Discord and things like Twitter and stuff like that.
You got the clubs thing on Microsoft as well, if they can make it available through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see with World of Warcraft perhaps one day maybe. We
don't think it'll work on console, but it'd be interesting to see what they do to adapt to it.
Yeah, well,
I can't see it on console.
It's just too many buttons to push.
Yeah.
I was listening to something, again, I forget where, I listened to so much stuff over last week about this. And they said that apparently Blizzard have had like a controller-based API or whatever running for Warcraft for years, but they've never actually used it because they haven't been able to sort of get it, good enough to release. So perhaps this might be the final push to be like, here you go. Although, like you said, there's so many. I've only played a little bit, but there's so many fucking buttons to press. You might as well just plug a mouse and keyboard into your Xbox and play it that way if it was to come to the console.
Stop pretending that you're gonna play it, Jay. You're not gonna play it.
I ain't gonna play it.
You've got no chance. I haven't even touched Skyrim again since we started talking the other week. Let me get into World of Warcraft.
Let's say you're the kind of guy that said, "Where's the Leroy Jenkins button?"
I will.
He does that. Yeah, enough.
We'll talk about that later on. So we put up a poll on the Twitters at Xbox Tavern. You can follow us. We're the other day, which said with Microsoft/Xbox One, Activision Blizzard /King. Do you believe this is a good thing for Xbox? I'm going to expand that out. We ended up with 94% saying yes and 6% saying no. I'm going to expand it out slightly to you guys. Do you think it's not a good thing for Xbox? Do you think it's a good thing for gaming? Because, again, as I said already, I've listened to many things of both sides, and there's a lot of people saying it's good because now Xbox can support the teams and sort out the toxic culture, which we'll get to in a minute. Then, but the other side of people are saying that Xbox aren't sort of organically growing. They're just going, well, we got a whacking great wallet. We're going to buy you, and then we're going to sort of force ourselves into a decent position in the industry rather than someone like Nintendo and Sony sort of building themselves up with, building the teams, building the games, and sort of getting that goodwill through making stuff. Now, Microsoft just coming, you're good, we'll have you. You're good, we'll have you. And there's the exclusivity argument where, in my eyes, in an ideal world, we would have everything on everything. So I could play Zelda on the Xbox, I could play Halo on the Switch, Last of Us on the PC. Well, I will probably be able to play it on the PC, but the console would be more like a DVD player. It doesn't matter what DVD player you buy, it will play a DVD.
Yeah.
I know that's an old school reference for you young and sorry. They're discs that you used to put in to watch films and stuff. That would be personally for me ideal because I'd rather just have one console that played everything. But this is more segment in it. So
in a dream world, that would be ideal. But I think exclusivity is it's not a concept that I'm overly bored about. Like if I want to watch Daredevil, I have to load up Netflix. If I want to watch the Grand Tour, I have to watch on Prime. If I want to watch Game of Thrones, I need to use Sky. There's exclusivity in just media. So people will get over the fact that Xbox has all of these games that are only on Xbox. So what? If you want to play God of War, you're gonna have to go and buy a PlayStation. If you want to play Halo, you're gonna have to buy an Xbox. Just it's the way of the world. So I don't think like things that people saying about monopoly as well, like Microsoft are just buying everybody. So do you not use Amazon? Because that's Amazon have bought shit tons of companies and engulfed them. Netflix
the monopoly thing is not necessarily not true, but exaggerated because there was a story come out that by buying Activision, it places Microsoft place in the industry at third at something like $20.2 billion for like revenue for last year, but Sony is still above them.
Yeah,
and Tencent are above them. So even though they've spent all of this money, they're still technically not making as much as Sony does.
Yeah.
Again, by sort of organically growing their teams and stuff. So yeah, sorry, carry on. I interrupted you.
I can't see why folk would be against this. I don't see what there is negative about this. It's not like I know where people are maybe coming from, where they're maybe scared that Microsoft are going to hide everything behind the Xbox infrastructure, but they've not really shown that they're going to do that for anything current. Fair dues, they've said things from Bethesda are going to be behind sort of only on Xbox and PC, right? But they're not going to do that with something like Call of Duty. So if you're worried about losing Call of Duty, you're going to be fine. And all it means is it's another set of games that you have to have two separate consoles to play. The exact same as God of War or Forbidden or Horizon or whatever else you want to play just solely on PlayStation. So people didn't bitch and moan about it when PlayStation had all these exclusive games solely for the fact of, but they had their own studios. Well, they had to buy the studios in the first place. They just weren't big studios when they bought them.
Yeah, I mean, they're buying smaller stuff, but
and then growing them.
Insomniac for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then Horizon, was it Guerrilla Games for Horizon?
Yeah, so it's just, it is what it is.
I was about to say something and it's completely slipped my mind. Ian, say something while I think what I was about to say.
I don't know what to say. My mind's gone blank.
Cool, Graham, give us your deep and insightful opinions, please.
Yeah, well, I just like to think that they would play a little bit of an exclusivity game, even if it was, could be used as like a bargaining chip to open some doors with Sony to sort of open up cross-play a bit more, or try to get their hand in
on Xbox, on PlayStation, maybe.
Oh
Well,
God!
everyone said that's
I think that would
their
be the
equivalent
worst thing
coming.
ever.
Yeah.
But maybe there is. Maybe it opens up some doors to sort of have some sort of cooperation with them in either trading exclusive titles or opening up sort of the interplay, because they've been quite hard-nosed about that, sort of not wanting to sort of cross-play across them. Maybe sort of having some of these titles as a sort of hanging over the head saying, well, if you open up that door, we can open up this for you, and start making some agreements. And it'd be nice to see that bit come into it. I mean, I don't give a stuff which one you play on, but the cross-play has been crying out for years.
Yeah.
Sort of play against them, and it could be used for such much more fun rivalries to sort of to do that.
Exactly, and that way again, if your friend's got a PlayStation, you've got an Xbox, you can't play together. Whereas now it's slowly getting to be more of that thing. I remember what I was going to say. So you were saying, Ross, about when you're Sony buying exclusives, and you've got to buy PlayStation stuff. To do this, it literally is you've got to buy PlayStation. It's slightly changing now because they've released a couple of games on PC. Whereas Xbox, at least, if they've got buying these companies and having them exclusive, as you said, you've got Xbox, you've got PC, you've got cloud. If needs be, you can go back to Xbox One if you can't hold of a new console. So even though it's only on one sort of console or one ecosystem, there's like 3 or 4 points where you could play it.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's exactly
you
like
buy
you
a
said.
PlayStation, Last of Us, you can only play it on a PlayStation. You can't play it on a PC. You can't play it on cloud.
If I had no interest in playing any other games other than God of War, I didn't like Last of Us, I didn't like Horizon, I would have to spend £500 on a PlayStation to buy God of War. If I wanted to play Halo, I spend £250 on a Series S, and boom, there we go. I can play Halo till I'm blue in the face. Half the money just to play a game.
Or just £15 a month for a cloud subscription.
Well, yeah, that as well.
Just play it on your phone or your laptop or something.
Yeah.
Or your PC, yeah, laptop.
Yeah. So, Xbox are not doing anything stupid this generation, and I think a lot of people are expecting Sony to have some sort of answer, and I don't see where Sony can really move to.
Yeah.
They're apparently looking at bringing out some sort of Game Pass alternative, which is great.
Project Spartacus, I think.
And if they do, then fantastic. But that takes a while to put into motion, and Sony haven't exactly been quick about fixing issues. Look at PS Now.
Yeah, and that then gets back into now you've got to buy a console and a subscription service just for that, and you've got to buy a console and a subscription just for this, and then you end up mixing it up again, and it gets a bit messy. But yeah, I think overall good thing, but there's maybe a little bit of sense to some of the concerns where Microsoft is just being like, have a stack of cash, now you're mine type thing, and Activision Blizzard haven't got a safe word to use either, so absolutely fucked. So, Ian, any thoughts, or should we move on to the next bit?
Well, you heard all my thoughts in the previous podcast, so please listen to the special.
Up on YouTube. Like I said, myself, Daniel, and Ian spoke for about half an hour on the news on the day. Give it hot takes in amongst other inane chatter, I'm sure. But that was good.
It's good for Xbox. It's good for gaming. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, this is the way it's going to be. Unfortunately, if we've got the money, they've got to spend to try and get more people going to their platform. Yeah. And yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of money. But clearly they've budgeted for it. They wouldn't have budgeted for this much money, and if they didn't have it, and clearly it wasn't Microsoft that bought them, not Xbox. So reality is,
they've changed the way it's set up now. They've changed to Microsoft Gaming.
Microsoft Gaming,
which is what Big Daddy Phil is now the
CEO,
head of Microsoft Gaming, and he's got a lovely team of people underneath him who again will sort out the toxicness of Activision Blizzard / King. Well, actually, I think King have been sort of kept out of this, but as you said, Kotick's there. Kotick's due to go supposedly once the ink's dry. Give him again probably a whacking great payday, and he can sod off into the sun. But they're gonna obviously all the teams are then going to report to Phil. So hopefully
you can suckle into the sun.
They can they can have their the culture at Microsoft can be brought over. Speaking to absolute bollocks, because I don't work there, I don't know anything about them really. It could be just as bad that we just don't know about it. Who knows? But hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's better, and they can improve things. And then they can bring back some old games, get the studios working on games that aren't Call of Duty, aren't Candy Crush, and aren't World of Warcraft, and get some good games coming out of them. So yeah, that would be nice.
World of Warcraft's a good game.
No, I meant other than just those 3 games, they get some other good games coming out. And at the very least, please give me a Singularity so I can play that again, because that was fantastic.
It's going to be the longest news story we've ever done.
I think it must be. I haven't really been keeping track of time.
It's like 40 minutes almost on one subject.
Through. Yeah, I mean, we could go quite a bit longer if we really got into it. But
yeah,
I think for now, that'll do. I imagine we'll be talking about this for probably the next year until it's finished, until it's signed off, which is due to be done by next summer, 2023, supposedly. So we'll see what happens with that. Cool. In related news, but we'll get through this very quickly. The day it was announced, Sony, the poor bastards, their stock value dropped by 20 billion because of obviously Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard / King.
Can you imagine? Like, I pick up my phone to check like my emails when I first wake up in the morning or whatever it is. And you imagine picking up your phone and you had the stocks app on your iPhone and you just go,
just see this little wiggly line going like this. Shit. I don't know if it's still down or if it's gone back up. Stocks are well out my fucking league.
It's not back up the full 20 billion, but it has recovered.
It's got to be going up. I'd love to be in a. Again, this is not my scene at all, but I'd love to be like a fly on the wall in some of these meetings where they sit and go, right, and then sort of unfold the chart like they do in the movies, and just the big red lines.
Yeah, lines go off the page. Woo!
What happened?
Did anything happen yesterday? It did spark some rumors of other people being their stocks going up because people like Sega, Capcom, Square Enix and stuff, because people were expecting perhaps that they would be the next targets, which is something we probably could get into another day. But whether Sony's going to buy some people, or whether Xbox is going to buy someone else, still holding out hope for Sega to be incorporated, but we shall see one day. But yeah, so that was just a sort of a little aside really to our 40-minute discussion on Activision Blizzard / King being purchased.
Let's do it.
Cool. And then one very quick, complete random tangent that our good man Daniel has put in the chat. So I'll just quickly read this now. Limited run games, they do limited runs of games. They do physical versions of games. It's like special edition releases that they tend to do with indie games. Excuse me. So if something gets released on Steam or something, they might do a 10,000 run copy of it, so you can buy it and have a limited edition basically. And they partnered with Microsoft, so they're going to be releasing an Xbox game this summer, and that's about it really. So if you're into physical stuff still, remember those discs that we were talking about earlier on?
Yep.
If you're into collecting boxes that hold them discs, look out for an Xbox version. Any ideas or any thoughts on what it could be? Anything you'd like to see if you were into physical collecting?
The language of love.
I should have expected that.
I'll frame that bad boy if it was.
Yeah. I completed this 5 times. I love
Completed 5 times was my 999.
Yeah. Great. Any thoughts? Any game if they were to release a limited run game of an Xbox game, and what would get you to pick one up?
What, as a physical media?
It's like a limited edition physical disc of something.
Not for me. That's not my bag. I'm trying to get rid of stuff out of my house, not fill it back up with things I'm not going to use.
Fair enough. And so, Ross?
I try to think.
Because I imagine this will be stuff that hasn't already had a physical release, so it makes it a bit harder. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just trying to think if there's anything that was Steam based that I'd played that would have been quite good to have a pick up. Nothing really jumps out and springs to mind. Everything that I can think of had some sort of physical, even if it maybe wasn't a big game title, it still had some sort of physical release.
Yeah. So is it? Yeah. So it's just. Is it games that have already been out or? Games
this tends to be games that have already been released, or very rarely, I think, new games. But it's stuff that hasn't got a physical release before, and then they bundle it in a special nice case and put some artwork and stuff with it. From what I understand, they're quite nicely produced, but I've never purchased one because, as Grace said, I'm trying to make room in my house, not add more stuff to it if I can help it.
Yeah.
What would be the favorite collector's thing you've got? Would you say?
Well, all right, let me think about that one. Who else has got some collector's editions they want to talk about?
I'm trying to think. I haven't got any decent ones. That's the thing. I've always been curious about doing it, and then I'll never. Then obviously go to think doing it. But it's like 50, 60 quid more. It's like, I can buy the game and not look at it.
Gears of War. I bought the edition with the gold lancer.
Ah, yes, I remember you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I should have bought. I should have done it.
Yeah, I'm having a look on the limited
Look
run.
at my cabinet now. I can't think of anything.
Having a look at the limited run website and just having a look at like some of the games that they've got, and it's like the old school Star Wars games that they've sort of repackaged, like Game Boy versions, and they've just repackaged it in a nice big new packaging and things like that. NES console games. Some ones from where was it? It was like the old original Odd Worlds. They've got a few of them as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool stuff.
Between them and Super Rare Games, who had just announced they're doing like a publishing thing. Yeah, they do a lot of good collectors things. Like I say, if that's your bag, you need to get in there because they do some good stuff. Ross, you got any? Sorry, great.
I was going to say the only mild collector thing I've got is probably everyone's got is that I think it was Fable 2 when it came out, that giant book thing with a coin.
Yeah.
That had the good and evil side. I think that would be the only part of my game.
I don't think I got that one.
One of the ones that Gio will be half proud, half disgusted with me in is I got one of the higher versions of Resi 6. Or was it Resi 5? It was the one that basically came with the badges. So you had like the star badge, the red one, which name I can't remember either. And then it had like an umbrella badge as well, or the pins or whatever they were. And then it came with a big sort of hardback book with all of the sort of stuff that was in the game.
Oh yeah. I've got that upstairs. I think Special Guest Pete gave me that book actually.
Yeah, so I got it came with both of them. That's the only other bit that I can think of.
I won't go too long because we're running along anyway. But I went through a spat of probably 10 years of buying, not mainly collector's edition, but if there was a collector's edition, I would buy it. And I got the was it Modern Warfare 2? I think come with night vision goggles.
Yeah, I got the goggles.
And Soap's head, like a little statue to put them on. I got the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller on the GameCube. I got a nice Sam Fisher statue. I got an what's his name from Assassin's Creed, the first one?
Altair.
I got a big statue of him. I got Alone in the Dark, had like a little diorama with the Edward Kent, whatever his name is.
That was one fucked up game.
A BioShock Big Daddy. I've got fucking loads. I've got Zelda, the Breath of the Wild. I got the one with the Master Sword in the stone with the flowers and it's fucking brilliant. Again, it was like twice the price of the game, but it was brilliant. And they're all sitting up on my shelf upstairs, all nice and dusty because I'd never ever get around to clean them. So worth the money and every penny. But definitely check out Limited Run Games if you're interested. They'll be announcing it soon, I imagine, and hopefully it'll be something decent. And if it's decent, I might. I'll probably won't. Right, housekeeping, people. Let's get into that very quickly. Thank you very much for listening so far. You're a hero. We love you. We are Xbox Tavern. You can find us at Xbox Tavern on Twitter, on TikTok, that hellscape of a fucking site. Apart from the Xbox Tavern stuff, it's good. You go to xboxtavern.com for written reviews, opinions, features, etc. YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, which is where we're recording this podcast right now, and we do it every Sunday 8 p.m.
Ish.
Thank you. A little bit later this week, but we get there in the end. And you can head down below in the comments or whatever the links. There's Discord and there's other bits and pieces. And you can also head to our good friends at insertcoinclothing.com and use the code Xbox Tavern 2022. Oh, for God's sake, Xbox Tavern 22 for 20% off. Usual T's and C's apply, so no shipping, no codes, no discounts, etc., etc. But if you're looking to pick up some new clothes on there, which is some fantastic Mass Effect merch and some what else was on there the other day? I can't remember now. I'll have to have a look. But
the new Kojima stuff's up.
Yes, new Kojima stuff.
I'm tempted by the jacket, even though it's ridiculous amount of money.
The new Mass Effect stuff's cool with the new sort of waterproof jacket and stuff like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had 22% off, I might have done it. But...
Yeah. And damn 2%, Dan.
Gotta be a fucking finicky bastard, yeah.
I like tease about it because he'll kill me otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of decent clothes on there. As we say before, I mean, this is from Insect Coin. My t-shirt I'm wearing at the minute is a Resident Evil 1 for Insect Coin. I don't think I've owned about 2 t-shirts that aren't from Insect Coin. And then hats and jumpers.
Your whole clothes is Insect Coin, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
Or whole clothes or wardrobe, should I say?
Yeah, I've got far too many, but they're all fantastic. So go check them out. InsertCoinClothing.com, Xbox Tavern 22 for 20% off until the end of 2022.
I do like the bomber jacket now. You just mentioned that.
Yeah, it's good.
The Kojima one.
Yes. So go check them out. I bought myself some more clothes on there the other day, but they had a great sale going on, so I picked up some bits and pieces.
What did you buy?
It should be all right. I bought a Gears of War hoodie, a new beanie, and a t-shirt for one of the kids.
What Gears of War hoodie was it?
Was it a dot one?
The grey one with like the army print pocket and sleeves.
It's a big print that said Dom's my favourite on the front.
Yeah.
Dom was machine.
Just a picture of him and Maria. All right, so that's enough of the housekeepingness. Check us out. That'd be lovely if you give us a like and a follow and all that. Whatever will keep Dan happy. And tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your neighbour, tell the random people in the street. Just go down the street shouting into the ether, and someone will listen, and they'll be like, "Good idea. Let's follow those people." Cool, gentlemen. We do a thing supposedly called the 30-day video game challenge, which we've kind of hit and miss the last couple of weeks while we've been getting back into the swing of things. But we've got a question this week, and it is, speaking of fanboy wars and exclusivity and all that, what is your least liked video game system? So this is something that you've played on and thought, I don't like this at all. Not necessarily the game, but whether it be the controller, the interface, the just general use of it. So let's go with you, Grayman. What's your least favorite video game system?
So I'm only going from the ones I've actually played on, and just from at the time, my pick is the PS1.
Fanboy, that's it. No, cancelled.
It was obviously the next gen hitting through after sort of having the Mega Drive, etc. And so this was the one that was coming in, and I'm not sure that I'd picked up the Saturn at the time, but I just remember playing on the PS1. Just the loading times on that, even back in the day, were still not as fun. And looking back at it now, it's just how crippling that gaming experience was at the time, just waiting for things all the time. And from going from what that was when I used to play on the Commodore 64, a proper old school one where it did take a long time to play a game, going to console-based gaming, which were bang, instant in your face.
Put the cartridge in and away you go, yeah.
And then flipping back to a new media, the CDs, and then back to waiting ages for things. And God help you if it had some FMVs in it. Those things took a while to learn for just a shrunken full motion videos of. I said this wasn't even worth it. Just get me to the game.
Just hear the disco. Just trying to catch up with it.
No, I think the only pleasant experience I've had from a PS1, they're probably playing the music generator game. That was probably about it. But yeah, out of all the consoles that I've played, that probably left the most sort of sour taste in my mouth anyway.
Fair enough. And then obviously you've loved PlayStation ever since. Right.
I don't think PlayStation EA was annoying, but my favorite game of all time was a PlayStation 1 game, so I can't knock it.
Yes. Maybe one day we'll eventually get that Legend of Dragoon remake. Hey,
maybe. One day.
Ian, why don't you tell us what about your least favorite console, I should say? So,
well, for me, mine will probably have to go with probably the most underwhelming console, and that will be PlayStation. No, joking. Also, PlayStation 5 for joke, but won't. It is, of course, Sega Saturn.
Ross, how do we remove someone from the podcast? Is there a button I just have to press? Or
I mean, I never played the Sega Saturn, so.
Graham, how do we remove two people from
Yeah, no, I only have fond experiences from the Saturn, but I can kind of see maybe why someone who only dabbled with it didn't enjoy it from the same reason I didn't enjoy the sort of PS1 at the time.
I was saying, I think I just, didn't have much fun with it. I didn't really get to use it as much. And there wasn't many great games for me to play that I really enjoyed.
outrageous.
But yeah, because it's just, there's better things out there, really.
Yeah. I suppose at that time as well, we were quite young, obviously. So you had what you had, wasn't it? So perhaps if I'd been bought a PlayStation rather than a Saturn, I'd be in your boat. Whereas I wasn't. So you can play what you can play, really. Eh?
Exactly.
But if you played Panzer Dragoon Saga, your mind would change. I'm sure. You'd you want to.
They need to bring it back. They need to be released. Are they going to re-release it? Do you think?
No, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But that would be nice if they did, because I don't want to have. Well, I've already got a copy, but I don't want to have to spend £500 on a copy should my one break or something, because they're fucking expensive. But yeah, that's fair enough. So Ross,
mine's was least like for other reasons than it not being good. Mine's was the Dreamcast, and the reason I didn't like it was I felt like it held itself back. Like, it could have been so much more than what it was. And yeah,
it could have been. But
it could have been, and that pisses.
You can make Jay cry in a minute.
It's more that it pisses me off. Like, it's contradictory to say, but I loved the Dreamcast to an extent, but at the same time, it fucking infuriated me that it was like this amazing, just everything about it. I loved the controller, I loved everything, and then it was just like it only ever wanted to do things like half measures.
Yeah. Well, that was Sega's MO at the time.
Yeah, and I was like,
let's just try. Should we? No, I don't know. Maybe no, I don't
let's
know.
bring out all these stupid fucking clip-ons that clip into the fucking control. No, focus on just being a good fucking console. I don't care about all your shitty little things that go into the fucking controller.
They were quite forward thinking because they were the first one with like the what's it called? Not Ethernet. What was it before? A modem adapter.
Yeah.
And they had the GD-ROMs, and it was the highest spec console and stuff. And they was quite ahead of its time. But then, as you said, Sega
exactly, they never done anything with it. Exactly. What?
I mean, we did get shimmy out of it, but it's not necessarily worth the demise of the
Fantasy Star Online. Let's not forget. I burned my way through a couple of Dreamcasts of that game, playing it online.
I agree. It didn't live up to its potential, but I still love it. The only thing I would say negative about it is after playing on the PlayStation with the DualShock, why they only went for the single analog stick when it was obvious everybody was going dual analog from now on. That would have been, if they'd had the dual analog, that controller would have been perfect. I love that giant disc-shaped thing. Oh, brilliant. Anyway. Cool. Well, mine is perhaps slightly going to upset more people than your use guys ones. I'm going for the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Mainly because I was a Sega kid. So obviously, as I said to Ian, I only had Mega Drive, Master System, Saturn, etc. growing up. But every time I did play on one, it didn't spark any interest in me. Like when I played the Master System Mega Drive from Graham's house, so it was like, I've got to get this. This is awesome. And I played on the SNES, and I was like, yeah, it's all right, I suppose. There's nothing really that I didn't really like the controllers. I thought it didn't look like a very nice console, and I just had no interest whatsoever in picking one up. Whereas every other console I've ever played, I've always had at least a spark. Be like, well, actually, I'd really like to get one and to play this game or that game, whatever. But the SNES just completely passed me by. I'm sure there's some good games on there. I'm sure there's a couple of Zeldas I should have played, but yeah, it just did not spark any joy from me at all, which is probably going to get me a lot of hate comments down below. But
just a bit, you might, we could get pitchforks.
Yeah. I may have been on your side, but availability was the other thing. I don't think I ever played a NES or a SNES back in that day.
No,
obviously, no one had one. No one really had one around.
The only time I played it was around Special Guest Pete's house.
I knew he had one, but I don't think he even played it around his.
Yeah, like
Did not let you play it?
No, he was too busy trying to get in with his creepy neighbor.
Or me. Well, what can I say? I am a dish.
Well. So, go on. So let us know down below in the comments and all that goodness, things I have to say to keep Daniel happy. Yeah, your least like console, or if you agree or disagree with us, let us know. That'd be wonderful. We're in the chat if you're in the chat. Hi, I haven't been keeping an eye on it because I haven't got it open, but hi if you're in the chat. So, gentlemen.
Yes.
Let's get into what we've been playing, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it kind of ties into what we have been playing, but looking at the list here. Our Project Game Pass game for this month is going to be Rainbow Six Extraction, which come out on the 20th of January to Game Pass. We'll talk about that in a moment, but we're going to play it until I think the end of February we decided, was it? And then we're going to
end of February will be and then the new one will be afterwards, after March's one. So because we had Halo for quite a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Halo was the last one which we did, and then we had a bit of a break, so we kind of left it off. Does anybody want to give their quick roundup thoughts on Halo before we move into what we've been playing?
Immensely fun with people.
With people, yeah, it's fantastic.
If you're playing solo or with randoms, it's just not as fun.
No, I mean
that's kind of true of all multiplayer games, really, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah,
true. But I think with Halo, yeah, you probably right with all multiplayer games that's the way. But oh god, it was immense fun with when we played our slot.
Yeah.
But I am intrigued to drop back into this new mode, attrition mode, is it?
Attrition mode, yes. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I am intrigued about that. I'd quite like to drop back in and get some games of that played.
Yeah, well, I'm free whenever you tell me, and I'll play some attrition because it's great. If you haven't played it, it's 4v4. Teams of 8 lives each. You have to whittle them down, and then when you get down to the last lives per person, you instead of respawning, you have to revive them. And then you have to basically wipe the whole team to win the round. And when it gets to that point, if you take too long to kill enemies, I don't think I mentioned this the other day, like a battle royale circle appears and it starts to close in. So it forces everybody together, so you can't just hide opposite ends of the map. But normally games are over before it gets to that point.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it enforces teamwork, even if you're playing with random people. Because I've been playing it sort of every other day or so, just with random team members, and it's been great fun. So yeah, definitely go check that out. I'm not sure how long it's on for because it's only one of the limited time ones. But
is it? Oh,
if you have time, on it. Yeah, get on there. Get on there. It's fucking brilliant. Gray, any thoughts on Halo before we get on to what we're playing this week?
Yeah, I haven't had a dabble in the attrition mode yet, but yeah, I'm enjoying the single player campaign bit. Haven't finished it yet, but I will get around to that bit. But yeah, no, I did enjoy the one player that we played together, and yeah, I could still do a couple more games of attrition when the time is on.
Damn right. I'll hit me up. We're ready. Yes, video games. Cool. So what have we been playing this week, gentlemen? Let's go to Ross, shall we? Seeing as he's been back after a few weeks off. Ross, what have you been playing this week?
So, with the sort of new Game Pass game coming up, I've been jumping into the Rainbow Six Extraction. So I never played the event when it was in Siege. What was it, Outbreak, did they call it, or something?
I think it was called Outbreak, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I never played it when it was in Siege. So this was like the first time I've jumped into this sort of, whatever they're calling this type of PvE, so compared to Siege, I suppose. Holy shit, like, it's hard. Holy shit, it is hard.
I'm glad you said it. I know we were talking about it beforehand, but I don't think you were there when we were discussing it. Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck. So
steep learning curve.
Very steep. Like, I mean, I'm not one for tutorials, but like I've played like 12% of the tutorial, jumped out and then dropped into a game with Dan. And fuck me.
Oh, that's a mistake straight away.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, apart from that, I was like, so I thought, right, I'll not do my normal. Whereas I'm quite, when I play Siege, I quite like to have quite an offensive base character. So low armor type idea, high speed, in blitz anything I can take out, and then if I go down, then at least I might have taken one or two with me. Went for the same idea in this, fucked. Just absolutely ruined. I was like, oh, okay, that's not fucking happening. So didn't expect it to be anywhere near as hard as it was. Didn't expect the enemies to be as sort of not overwhelming, well, maybe overwhelming because they just come from every direction. They don't come from channels.
But they also deal like significant damage, don't they?
Yeah, like
it's
if you
not
get
even
hit,
like there's a lot of them. One can fuck you up easily.
they hit hard. But taking the difficulty out of it and just as the game, fucking absolutely love it. It's right up my street in regards to I love Siege. I like the PvE element to it. I like just the learning the. I think this type of game is going to be really important for you to learn the map.
Oh yeah, you've got
like you have to learn the map. Obviously, I know like the objective points change and shit like that, but
you tend to spawn in different places as well.
Yeah,
don't you?
so
yeah.
that's the same as Siege. You've got different spawning points, but it's like where if you're doing like the enemy base or like say the bomb can only ever be in certain places within the map. So if you get your cameras in, you know exactly where to drive your drone to double check if they're in that place or not. And I think once you learn that in Extraction, it'll make life easier. But no, so far I've only played a couple of games with, like I played a couple of games with Dan, and that's the only ones I've played as with people that I know. The rest has just been with randoms, so communication's not exactly been ideal. But no, so far brilliant game. Looking forward to checking out all the gadgets and things like that. Like they've obviously got different types of grenades, body armors, different things that you can inject into yourself to like take less damage, or if you do go down, you can revive yourself and shit like that. So interesting to see how the story.
So Karen,
I was just saying, I'm interested to see how the story progresses. Obviously, you start in one place, and there's like, I think it's 6 different areas that you have to progress through the game to get to.
Yeah.
So interesting to see how that goes.
Have you leveled up to the point where you can start unlocking some more of those things, like you were saying, like the perks and the?
So I've only unlocked the first
upgrades.
one. I've got like body armor.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, so far it's I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from it so far. So, being a Rainbow Six Siege type game, this is going to be supported for so many different fucking things thrown at operators and add-ons.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get loads of different operators, aren't you?
So you're gonna get shit tons of stuff in it. So there's not going to be any issue for longevity. It's just going to be interesting to see where they go with this type of game, different maps and stuff like that.
Yeah, and different. Hopefully, in some sort of different objectives within the same maps, because even the few games we have played already, we're starting to cycle them through already, and although we're not doing very well because it's fucking hard, eventually you will just be playing the same 6 or so objectives over and over again.
Yeah,
to try and grind your level up, basically. Because
you've got like what one is it? You've got like the catch the area type idea, so you like get the people staying in like the 1v area for it. You've got the bit where you've got to put the bomb on the stems type idea. What was the other one that we had the other night as well?
There's the one with the terminals where you got to press A, B, C in order. It's within a very tight time limit, which
we first time we did it, we fucked up, but every other time we've done really well because we just stayed by each zone.
Yeah. But the problem there was finding them, wasn't it? You got to go around and actually find the 3 points, and then you can't start it till you find A. Then you don't want to start A until you found B and C.
Yeah.
And then you've effectively got to split up to find them. And then stay split up to activate them, and then quickly like regroup together once you've done it, so you don't get fucking swarmed.
Yeah, you don't want to be left by yourself in this game because you need somebody there to give you a hand up, because you will going down's not fucking difficult to do.
No.
Yeah. No. Jamie. Especially when we'll go in stealth, and Jay walks in with his shotgun, blowing up the green bombs.
Yeah. So stealth is key, obviously, but it's so easy to be caught off guard by an enemy that sees you and then alerts everyone else.
Yeah.
That we only ever lasted maybe 10, 15 seconds. You're like, right, that's it, guns blazing.
Yeah.
Fire at will, gents. Fire at will.
But see, that's where I think they've changed some of the operators that I've got in. So I'm trying to remember who it was I played as the first time. I went back and started playing as Sledge just because I knew the character. But one of the other guys, he's got a grenade or a mine that you throw it. And then when it goes off, anybody that's in, or any of the enemies that are in the circumference of the mine, they forget where your position is. So if you do get swarmed, you can sort of drop that, get the fuck out of there, and give you a chance to reset for the sort of stealth type idea. And the same with the smoke grenades. Once you throw a smoke grenade, they lose your position. So you can retreat back and then try and go through it stealthy again. So they have tried to give you options on how to play stealthily, but
all it takes is that one
fucking lone guy to walk around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they see you, you've got a couple of seconds to kill them before they alert everyone. But as you say, if you don't see them see you, there's a very small like hint that you like. I can hear them go, and they go, ah! It's like, oh shit, swarm. So Ian, what's your high level thoughts on what we've played so far on Rainbow Six?
I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely fun. It's hard, which is difficult, but it's good because it's good difficult. It's a good learning curve. You've got to be tactile. You can't just go running in. Yes, there's a lot of trial and error, and some maps are going to be fine and dandy. You get easy. Other times you can get 3 different missions and you get absolutely shafted.
Yeah. I don't know if Ross, if you had to rescue one of your operators.
Well, I was about to say that I've got somebody sitting MIA, but I haven't had a chance to drop back in with somebody to go and rescue.
Yeah. So doing that is a case of, so if you die in a mission and one of your teammates doesn't manage to pick your body up and put them in the extract pod at the beginning of the level, they effectively, like Ross said, go MIA. So in the next round or next time you go on that level, one of the missions will probably be to extract them, and they're placed within almost like a tree type thing, and you got to basically try and pull them out. But as you're pulling them, there's nodes coming off of it, which
you have to destroy.
Whatever, the enemy things. Basically, you pull the operator, but this stuff is basically tightening the grip on them, so you have to shoot them down while someone's pulling them out, and it's really hard to try and get it. To get them all and pull them out successfully, and then once you pull them out, then you've got to extract them. But if you don't extract them, or if you don't get them out, you lose them, and they lose all their progress they made in the mission up until they died. So if you earn say 5,000 XP, if you successfully extract them, you still get to keep it. But if you don't, then they lose it.
It's gone.
But if in between the mission that you lose them, you obviously don't have access to them. So that then whittles down the amount of operators you can choose from. So you've always got to pick a different operator for every time you play. So you couldn't just pick Vigil, for example, and just play as him the whole time, because not only could you lose him, but also if you end the mission with only say 5 or 6 health, then they'll be out for a little while they're recovering. So then you've got to go and pick someone else, which I'm not overly keen on, to be honest.
I think that's quite good because it kind of sort of drags you into playing different operators.
It does force you to pick other operators, but it also means you've got to go through all of them and set them up how you like them. You've got to unlock all different perks. And you've got to some of them I just don't like. I can't remember the name of it now. There was one of the characters I play as. I just fucking hate their power was useless to me because it's not how I play. But I almost had no choice but to pick them because most of the other ones I do play were out.
Was the power staying alive?
I mean, that is a key power which I've yet to master. Yes, I'm not overly sure about that mechanic, but the actual act of playing the missions, playing the game, and going through and playing in co-op, obviously with Ian and Pete last night, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Carlos the other night as well.
And Carlos as well the other night, yeah. I mean, we played for maybe 3.5 hours, and I think we had maybe 2 successful missions.
Yeah, it was only 2 successful,
really?
but yeah, 2 successful.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
But then with Pete, we had 2 as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or one or 2 with Pete.
It is a hard fucking game. Like, it is not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's why I'm liking it. It's because
same.
I'm used to all these quite easy games and I get a hang of it quite quickly. Well, this is now actually quite learning it, and actually it's a bit of fun.
But I think that's
why Back 4 Blood was just ridiculous after a certain amount of levels.
This is why I like it like Siege.
Solo.
Because Siege is obviously a game where you can play it and enjoy it, but you're not maybe good at it because of how fucking difficult Siege can be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm alright with Siege.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's why I was sort of kind of, this game should be not too bad. Fuck.
Well, yeah, that's what we went in with. It's hard against players because they can be cracked shots. The AI will be alright, but they effectively can kill you in 1 or 2 hits easily anyway.
It's the ones that you don't expect it, because obviously the bomber ones, which are kind of behind you and blow you up, or the ones that you never know they're going to shoot at you. Like, oh shit, someone shoots at you. Run away.
Yeah.
I haven't learned the enemies yet to know which one.
No, neither have I.
Don't.
I think the only one that I can differentiate is like the normal one and then the elite, and I think it's just because the elite's got bigger sort of spiky,
So like a spiky head,
dead.
you can't get a headshot very easily, can you?
Yeah, so I think that's about the only two that I've really noticed. Whereas the rest of them, it's just like, fuck, shoot it.
I did quite like the way they've set up so the missions. So you got the 3 objectives.
Yeah.
And as you complete one, if you're already low on health or if someone's already died, you can just extract and just claim whatever XP you gained for that one mission, or you can risk it all and try and finish the next one.
It's almost like they watched Ian's quizzes and it was like, yeah, you could do just one answer, but you could also do 3. But if you go for 3 and you don't get it, then you fucked up. It's like
basically
Ian's idea.
Yeah.
We should start charging for all these ideas that people take.
I know, StarCraft now.
Quiz, StarCraft. It's fucking hell, man.
See?
Where's the royalties?
Get that big daddy field check in the post, please.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So great, you haven't had a chance to play Rainbow Six.
I haven't dabbled into it yet, but yeah, I think I might struggle. Wasn't the greatest at Siege, and if there's stealth elements involved, I'm in big trouble.
It's not so much that it's completely stealth. It's just advised to try
You've
and be as
got to go
quiet as
stealth a
possible
bit first, and then
at least until you start to get into like finding the objectives and stuff. But yeah, so far, thumbs up. Definitely going to play some more this week.
Yep, definitely thumbs up for me.
Up for it. I think Carlos said he wants to play some more as well.
I do want to get. I want to get at least. I think my aim is literally to not complete this one, but get us through all the levels. At least see what they're all like. Yeah. Because obviously you've got to wait and unlock them, haven't you?
Yeah, because they're in tiers. So I think is it the first one's is it first one's tier 3 or tier 5? You need to be able to get to the next map.
I think it's tier 5, because we just about unlocked it the other night. Yeah. I still think now that we know what the game plays like and how fucking hard it is, I still think it'd be pretty cool to have a 3v3 match. So 3 of us versus 2 other Tavern people and one of us and stuff, and just to see A, who can get through it, and B, you get through like a mission the fastest. We have to try and figure out how to set that up because that'd be quite fun, I think.
That would be.
Especially for those that like a bit of competition, Ian.
Of course,
let's do
definitely.
It. Yes, cool. So Rainbow Six, we'll talk about more next week when Dan's back as well. We could get his thoughts and opinions on it, and hopefully we'll have played a bit more by then. Ross, you been playing anything else other than Rainbow Six Extraction?
So there was this small little game that came into Game Pass recently, called Mass Effect. So for about the fucking 30th playthrough, I'm back playing Mass Effect. I'm doing what one am I doing? I'm doing Femshep just now because I've not got any more progress on Xbox. I played it on PlayStation when it first launched, so I've ran through it as Paragon for what just to run through the main game, and then when I actually come through to play it properly, I'm going to be doing Insanity, Renegade, Femshep for the trilogy. So I think I'm Mass Effect 2, and where am I up to? I'm on my second set of recruitment, so I think the only people I need to get is Samara. Samara's the only one I've still got to get before Legion, and then do the loyalty missions before I do all of that. So I didn't realise, for all the times I've played it, I never realised you could do it. I never realised there was a way you can do all the loyalty missions that include saving everybody on the Normandy, but taking Legion to the Quarian ship. And I never knew you could do that. So I'm going to do that this time just to see how fucking pissed off the Quarians get for that.
Just trying to sow carnage and chaos into the world.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, your mortal enemies that kicked you off your planet and you've had to stay on a ship for the rest of your life. So look, I've brought one to you.
Say hi.
And now you two are going to be friends and mush them together.
You created them, so at the same time, fucking, it's your problem.
Sit them down, lock them in a room, say deal with it.
Deal with it.
Yeah, nice.
But cool. No, that one took up quite a lot of the time that I was dying a painful death in bed, and then since the Extraction dropped, I've been playing that. So
nice, a perfect couple of games to sort of aid you in your kind of illness. Nice, Graham.
Yes.
What have you been playing this week?
So I've still been continually dabbling into FIFA, trying to improve my ability to take on a lot of the sort of the division and champions bit. And I've finally got a team where I can actually compete with some of these ridiculous squads that you see online.
I thought you were going to say taking on the pretender Dan.
Oh no, we had that discussion last week where he admitted how much I beat him anyway. And now, due to a couple more upgrades since then, which I taunted him with, I think he's going to be in trouble if we do play again. But yeah, it's just I wanted to get to a point where I could play the champions section without just getting humped. Because when I first started off, I just would get like rinsed 6-0 and stuff like that, and I just couldn't stand a chance. But now I'm actually getting wins in. I'm sort of started the champions this weekend, and I'm 2 for 2 at the moment, so I can actually start to hold my own in that bit. But it's still pretty damn hard in that kind of league.
It's just something that's never interested me, is trying to play into like the weekend league and champions and stuff like that. I enjoy Ultimate Team. I've not played 22 anywhere near as much as I've played sort of 21 and 20. But I like playing. I mean, I'll play like squad, sort of division rivals, and I'll play squad battles. But like the weekend, like the proper competitive shit.
Yeah.
I don't want a game to be ruined because of fucking sheer frustration, and that's all that would get out of me. So,
yeah, it gets me too. I don't know why I put myself through it. It's just more the fact that I know if I could try hard enough that I wouldn't get just rinsed, that I could hold my own in it. And yeah, I sort, because I'm not a skill player. I play proper brute force, fast pace passing and sort of tactical defending, and it works. So I can't get smashed, but and it's done purely non-money funded. I have never bought any packs. It's all been on my own, and this is the first time like the higher end players have been accessible.
Yeah, I think like, not this year because I've not played enough of it, but last year, I think by the time the game by the time I finished playing the game, which was maybe March time, I got like 2 of the team of the year players in my team. Like, that was me. I was like, oh my fucking god, and like that was mind blowing. And then like you were trying to play some teams that were in like division rivals, and they had like 6 reds, 2 blues, and then like the fucking ultimate. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you do that? How have you got cards like that?
Yeah.
It's like, because if you're spending like what Dan used to do, £90 a month on fucking FIFA points and packs, then you're going to eventually get fucking ridiculous players. Plus, even if you don't get ridiculous players, you sell fucking 300, 400, 500 players in a month, you make 600,000 coins, you buy icons and shit like that. So it's just...
How much do you make a match?
Only about sort of between 500 to 800 coins.
If you get like
not much.
If you get a
how
coin...
much is the big pack, gold pack?
7,500 for like a premium one.
Yeah, for the big one.
5,000 for a standard one, but you barely get anything decent in any of those.
And then you get like £100,000, like 100,000 coin packs that are like 30. Is it 30 players and they're all rare?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and so that's like your best chance to get like good
something.
Players.
And it's still no guarantee.
No, it's still not guaranteed.
That's what I hate. I was like, it's such a waste of money. I've seen people sort of spending loads of money and just getting absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's just their MO though, isn't it? Like, just chuck us money and we might give you something decent.
That's what I mean, but I haven't chucked any money, and I've still managed to get a half a decent squad now that can compete with these people. The amount of times I've played against Mbappe and Pele and Messi and all of these. And I'm now, they don't scare me anymore. Those ones don't worry me at all. When you see Rude Hullet in there, that's when you've got to worry.
Yeah.
That guy his stats are unreal.
But that's the
you got Kane now, haven't you?
I've got a super Kane now. He definitely helps my front line. But it's still, he's not even a touch on the likes of Pele and Hullet. That's just got like an extra hint on their kind of stats.
And that's the thing, like when you're playing it when you're playing it to try and play it competitively, you build your team to the team you want it to be. Whereas like when I play Ultimate Team, I play it because I want to try, as much as I need to try and play it with like the chemistry aspect, I try and put players in my team that I like. So I don't care like if somebody's got a better stat, I want to have the players that I want in my Ultimate Team. So like, I think 1 year out, like the only icon I've ever managed to save up and buy was Henrik Larsson, one of my all-time favourite players. And it wasn't even his like top rated card. It was the like baby icon or baby legend or whatever they're called. The very end.
Base icon.
Yeah, and it was like he went in my team over a guy that I'd higher rated because I was like, no, but I have Henrik Larsson playing on my team. I'm not.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not giving me a competitive edge, but I've got Larsson in my ultimate team, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys who have got like fucking every player is like the highest rated card you can get.
Yep, I've played against a few of them. Lost some of them.
Some of them are like icon that they show. Like so, like the one that springs to mind. It was one of the guys on Twitter that I follow. It was Icardi, and his cards flashback Icardi. It's 91 rated, but then when you deep dive into the cards and it comes like accumulative points and it's like shown points is like 2,000 something like that, and then actual in-game stats is another number underneath that. And it's like he was 91 rated on his card, but his in-game stats were like the second highest in the whole game. And it was like I would never know that. I've got he's 91 rated, I've got a 92 rated striker, I'll play the 92 rated striker. But that doesn't matter. It matters about these fucking hidden stats and shit like that people deep dive and have fucking graphs and everything to show it. Comparing.
Yeah, a lot of them make a use of whether they're left-footed and right-footed or both-footed, their weak foot, the skill moves. Yeah, they all take it all into consideration.
I'm like, fucking, like, I'm Football Manager lover, and even that shit's too complex for me. Fucking hell.
All right, let's not go on too much. I can see Jake glazing over.
Literally, I was just like, I was looking at, I'm paying attention, and then it's like gone.
Yeah, I'll touch on the review game, which finally reviewed and up. Nobody Saves the World, and that is a great sort of action RPG based game with just a clever way it handles the sort of RPG elements rather than just hack and slash, get an experience, grind your way to level up kind of thing. It's constantly based off mini quest stroke objectives.
Yeah.
And basically this guy wakes up with amnesia and basically wants to go see the magic wizard Nostramagus to sort of get his memory back, and the wizard's gone, so he has to go and find out what's happened. But he finds his wand, and this wand allows him to change different forms, so he can be different things. So he can be a warrior, a rogue, a rat, just a variety of different animals, a turtle, a slug. It's just, there's so many different things and different moves for each of them. But to level them up, it's not just hit as many enemies as you can. It can be hit your enemy with one of your special attacks in a certain way, or you have to hit 3 enemies at a time to progress the objective. And once you complete the objective, you get a chunk of experience and you level them up that way. So it's just a clever way of leveling them up. You can't just pick your favorite one and just storm right through it. You have to level each of them up, because you can't unlock another form until you've got the 2 lower forms to a certain grade, and then it unlocks the next form. So it forces you to play as all the different kind of forms, and it's just great fun to
Is it multiplayer?
It has got an online co-op, but it's only with your friends. You can't co-op with strangers. But I mean, I suppose it helps now that it's in Game Pass, so you can sort of co-op with your buddies if they're interested in playing.
Is it just 2-player or up to 4-player or something?
I didn't get a chance to try that bit out before I wrote my review up on it, but I think it would only make sense to be 2. If you had 4, I think the dungeons would get way too easy. Yeah. I don't know if it ranks up the difficulty if there is more than 2, but or if there is a second person, but it's not overly challenging because each area it tells you what kind of recommended level you're at. But if they're too lower level, the enemies start running away from you. And not only that, they don't kind of add to your objectives. So it might be like you have to hit 5 enemies at once with one of your moves. But if you try it with all the lower end things, it's like, you ain't cheesing your way through this. You have to hit within your range, otherwise you're not leveling up. So
just watching that's pretty cool.
It is good fun. I totally recommend it if you like a good sort of action RPG. It's a clever sort of take on it. And I'm still playing through it now. I've written up my review. I want to finish it because it's good fun.
Oh, yeah,
And,
it's from the people who made Guacamelee.
Guacamelee, yeah. So the same sort of artistic style, and it's quite quirky, and it looks quite cutesy at first until you see sort of some of them, like the zombie and the mermaid, are quite horrifying designs. So, my kids don't like that one. They like me being the turtle and the slug. But when they see the mermaid, it's like, can you be something else, please? Yes, all right, I'll pick one of the others. But yeah, it's quite a lot of different kind of humor in there. And yeah, similar kind of vein to Guacamelee, quite sort of weird, twisted humor. Yeah. So yeah, totally recommend. I do really enjoy that. Nice. Yeah, and it's on Game Pass, so fill your boots.
Game Pass for the win. I think looking down our list here, a lot of the stuff we've been playing this week was on Game Pass.
Indeed.
Best value in
gaming. Spend $68.7 billion. Get yourself a decent game or two. Right. Cool. Thank you very much, Graham. Ian?
Me?
I suppose so.
Yeah, go for it. I have been playing loads of titles this week, but the first one I probably want to talk about is a little title called Unpacking.
Very nice little experience here. Have you finished it now?
I finished it. Also, it's quite a little title where you basically you're not sure if are you a girl or a man? I can never tell.
I believe you're supposed to be playing the story of a female, yeah.
Female,
I think it's asking Jay.
Yeah, I was asking Jay. And basically you're moving into a house. Yeah, I guess called teddy bears and stuff gives it away, doesn't it? And diary. I don't think I've written a diary in my life. So yeah, basically a little title about you based on packing your life, and you're going through the years of as you're progressing, like maybe you're student accommodation and moving with a partner, and basically just generally unpacking rooms as you go along. And then obviously not every box in the same room every item in the same room, box in the same room can't have to go to different rooms. For example, you might unpack a box in the dining room and it'd be a toothbrush. You realize, oh no, that won't go in the dining room. So you've got to move over to the bathroom and put it in there. And that's quite straightforward. Quite a short little title. It only took me a couple of hours to kind of go through it all. So
Did you play on Xbox or on PC?
I played PC. A lot easier on PC.
Yeah, definitely.
Point at mouse and click away. So yeah, good little title, good fun. I mean, not strenuous, nothing too hardcore.
It's quite satisfying, isn't it? Really, to just click a box and be like, right, here's like you said, like a book or a shirt or something. You're like, right, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and then you just sort of gradually stack it all up. You're like,
stack anything. Oh, I need a hanger for that. So you put the clothes on the bed, and then there's a hanger. Then you can move the bed to close the hanger, stuff like that. And then once you unpack everything, it gives like warnings of like, if that shouldn't be there, that shouldn't be there, and you can slowly move it around to organize it all.
Did you see when it came out, there were a lot of people, I imagine young people, because a lot of the items in the game are sort of real world things, and they like books and stuff like that. But it also has like interpretations of Game Boys and GameCubes and Xboxes and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a GameCube, and people were like, "Where does this go? I don't know what it is. I don't understand." And like, how do you not know what GameCube is?
How could you not know?
And then there was something like, "Hang on, it's like 20 years old." Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's a good little game. Fun to. I think I said before, my youngest was watching me play it, and she took the mouse off me, and that was it. I lost her for a couple of hours. She just neatly stacking everything. She wasn't tied up in a real house. Yeah. She was happy just stacking stuff away nicely, doing a couple of levels. Yeah, good little game.
No, yeah, little fun game. And the other noteworthy game, other than Rainbow, which we spoke about earlier, I will say is I've gone back and dabbled in Among Us.
Whoop whoop.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's super sus.
So is this part of your achievement hunting, or is this just something you want to play?
Both, I guess. Why not say both? But yeah, everyone's super sus. It's just funny, especially when you go into some online lobbies and random. If you get a good lobby where people are actually talking and actually kind of winding everyone up at the same time, you do have a good laugh. And they've had from when we played before. We played before back in lockdown days. They've had like new like roles like scientists and like shapeshifters. So like you can be like, if you're an imposter, you can shapeshift into like another person. Yeah. So like you can kill someone like, in the corner and then shapeshift into them. Obviously you can run around. Or it could be scientists. So sometimes, which is bad. You can scientist or engineer. You can vent. But also if you vent and come out, someone goes, oh, "You're an imposter." It's like, no, I'm just venting. I'm an engineer.
That's a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah. So
that's very much. The crafty one, that was always the giveaway. You vented.
It's like, no, I'm an engineer. Don't, no, this, I'm doing this. That was funny because every time someone saw him vented, like, I saw you vent. It's like, no, I was engineer. It's like, fuck off. That's not a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. I was like, okay.
So again, were you playing this on PC then, or on the
This
Xbox
again
version?
was on this. Well, I did for the Xbox for a bit, but then the controller's so annoying. So I went back to onto the PC, got my laptop out because you can type quickly then as well, and it's just a bit more fun because actually have a good laugh. Because obviously, when you're typing quite a lot, and you get a good lobby where people are all talking on PC, you know, it's just people just winding people up all the time.
I think a game like Among Us, so like something like this and something like Jackbox are two that we really need to sort of play as a team, like play as a group, get it like recorded or streamed and shit like that. They're the type of games where they're just hilarious to sit and watch, even if you're not part of it.
No, definitely. I'm more for that, especially if we do like on Discord where we all mute our mics and actually play for the rounds. And when it comes up, you know, unmute our mics and talk.
That's
and obviously you can make the time round, like, you know, you can make the voting round like 2 minutes. We can each have an argument for 2 minutes before we even do the voting.
That's the thing. Last time when we did play it with a group of people, we had our mics on and everyone had to sort of behave themselves, which was mostly all right. Everyone's getting off.
Quiet. We got killed in just silence, and then like you said, a few people were like, okay. Yeah, we should definitely, like I said, get a Tavern night one night, see if we can get a few of the guys on.
No, definitely. I think it's now the lobbies are up to 15 people.
Oh,
so,
wow.
you know, plenty. Yeah, so plenty of people to come up and actually have fun with.
Yeah. Nice. We should look into this. That'd be good fun.
But I won't. I've played about another 20 odd titles this week. I did say I've retired from achievement hunting, but I'm close to 101 million. So, you know, let's get there.
You know, the really sad thing is, you're fucking
1,100,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're at that. I'm like, the day I ever hit 100,000, I'll be like, like I'm at 70 odd or something.
My kids noticed earlier on when they were sitting on that dashboard, you know, it sort of flicks between your gamer tag and your email and your gamer score. It popped up and they were like, why have I got 2,200 and something? And they're like, I said, that's what you get for playing against the points. And they were like, does that mean I've got that much money? I was like, no, it's not money.
Oh, if only it was money.
I was going to say, it'd be nice if it worked like that, but no, it's not money. Bless her. Cool.
I do feel like they should introduce that. So like once you hit big milestones, like achievements, not saying they'll have to pay it like massively. Like Ian hit 1 million, so you got like £20 Xbox gift card or something like that. Like just like you've obviously been loyal to that fucking console, so why would you not like give some sort of reward or like?
Do they still do the discount? So if you get over a certain amount of game score, you get
barely
something like a 1% or 2% discount.
Oh no, I think they stopped that now.
They stopped that.
I vaguely remember. Yeah, it wasn't like over like 100,000 gamer score. You had like
something like 2%
or 20,000. I think it was back then actually.
Yeah. Because that would be good. Like you said, Ross.
Then the quick realised there was fucking achievement hunters and went fuck.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you get to 1 million, you get like a 10% discount. Right?
It's why they've stopped. Or hasn't happened in a while. Remember that 10,000 gamer score? You get 10,000 reward points.
Yeah,
but it doesn't stop you from making new accounts. So I know one guy on True Tune website. He made like 20 accounts and just did loads of 10,000 because there's so many easy gamer scores now, especially with like the Zyklon games where you can pay for like 10 minutes you get 4,000 gamer score. So did that loads and loads of times, just racked up loads and loads of gamer points, and obviously traded that in for like vouchers,
and then put it all in one account.
Code, just put it in one account.
Oh.
So I imagine they won't do that 10,000 gamer score for a long time, but if they do, I'm going back. I'm doing that same thing because I did it on 4 accounts. Technically 5 I've got for Jay as well.
Yeah, I was going to say I've saved some games just in case they bring one out them soon because I've got some. I can get a few easy Chivos in. Not that I'm a Chivo hunter, of course, but
no, but it's like for 10,000 reward points. I think it's like a tenner, isn't it? Pretty much, or 5 or tenner.
Yeah, I think you can get a £10 voucher.
I think it's 12 for 10. 12,000%. Yeah. But if you make a new account, you get 2,000 for free anyway from doing like loads of different things.
Yeah.
So I know I did it a couple of times, like all the old accounts I got on my Xbox as it is. But I know one guy who did like 20 times and said it worked.
I think they've changed how you redeem stuff now. Though, there's a little PSA, I think. So if you redeem credit, it just goes straight to that account. You don't get a code anymore. But if you redeem Xbox Game Pass, you get a code still, because I use my wife's one to get a code for Game Pass, and then I use my one to get a code for Game Pass.
They changed it now then. That sucks.
So the credit you can't get, but you can still get Game Pass, which is handy, really.
But I wonder still then, even if you can't, I guess if the game is lower than £10, it's $1 then.
I want to gift it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to. I suppose. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. We could look into that.
I'll test it and report back, because I've got about 10,000 on my
trying to trade tips on how to shaft them. Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. Well, I tried that one.
They've just spent 68 billion. They ain't short for cash, are they?
Well, I definitely know the CD keys work one, because I've got about £150 on my CD keys, and it's letting me buy Series S. I'm about one click away from buying it, along with my controller. The devil stole my idea. Mr. McCaffrey.
Yeah, nice, cool. Okay, well, I suppose it's me now, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
What have you been playing, James?
Well, I've been playing this game called Rainbow Six Extraction. So you start with operators, and the only other thing I've really played this week, which I think I spoke about last week briefly, was Gravity Chase. So kind of Wipeout meets F-Zero, anti-grav racing. It's very fast. It looks pretty decent. And last week I was quite high on it, but I hadn't replayed that much. My reviews come out now, and I kind of soured on it by the time I'd come around to write the review, because although the tracks are cool because they're tubular, so there's no sides, so rather than pinball in left, right, and center, or because you're going too fast and you can't control it, you just sort of sweep around the tracks. So I like that aspect.
Okay, well,
yeah. So you literally you're just like you're running a pipe basically, and you can just go all the way around at 360.
Okay.
And then just keep flowing forwards. You've got to find the collectibles and the boost pads and stuff. But the problem I found towards like the latter half of the tracks, I think there's something like 16 tracks to unlock, is that they all started to feel very similar, because you're going so fast, and because they're either the tubular ones or they're half pipe ones, and even the half pipe ones aren't really that difficult because they're so wide. You don't really sort of bounce off them too much, and they all just tended to feel almost like in F-Zero there was a cup called, was it the X Cup, where it randomly generated tracks for you for like a championship. It almost felt like that. Like every time you played it, there wasn't really a consistent track design. They just we'd chuck a bend in here and a loop here and a bit here and just go for it. And it started to feel a bit samey, but not. I couldn't point you to any. I really like this track. I really like this track. They all just sort of merged into one. Just sort of built from the same bits, just in different orders. So it was still good, but it's definitely not the best anti-grav race. I'd still rather play Wipeout or F-Zero, or even I forget the name of it, Pacer. I played a few months ago. That was really good. That was more traditionally hard, like Wipeout. The other thing I didn't like so much about it was the progression. So as I said, there's 16 tracks to unlock, and you have to, every time you launch a session, it basically creates a new leaderboard type thing. So you play, say, 10 races, gives you a leaderboard. You quit the game, come back in, you just start again. There's no like career mode, or there's no like carried over progression, except for unlocking the tracks. However, I unlocked nearly all of them on my solo play. Went to play with some other people to check out the multiplayer, because it's up to 4-player local play, and you have to unlock them all again, because each different player count has its own progression. So if you play with one player, you got to unlock them 2-player, unlock them 3, 4. So if you play with 4 players and then one player goes, those 3 players have still then got to start unlocking all the tracks again. So you can't just carry on playing. And other than upgrading your ships, which is all but pointless really, there's little point to carrying on unlocking stuff other than the tracks. So you get money to upgrade it, but it doesn't really do anything. And it's really bare bones experience. It's like an arcade game almost, like something you put £1 in the arcade, maybe do a few races and then walk off and not really think about it again. There's nothing to make you come back to try and complete a championship or create your own tracks or completing a tournament or anything. It's literally just press A, all right, another racing, have a few races. Okay, that's it. Turn it off. And
there's no actual like career mode or anything then?
No, there's no career. There's not even an options menu.
Yeah.
The career mode.
I was looking at it when I was watching the trailer. I was like, this seems really like fucking.
It's
That's
incredible. Again, the actual racing is fun because it's really fast and there's 3 modes. There's combat races, which gives you guns and shields and stuff. There's just pure races, which just focus on boosts, and then there's the eliminator one. So the last person on every lap gets eliminated until obviously there's only one left. And there's 3 different speed classes and 3 different speed classes of ship. So you could go on the hardest speed class and then pick a different speed class ship. I don't know why you would, but you can. But there's no, as I said, there's no career, no tournament. There's no.
It's not even an options.
Not even an options menu. The title screen, press A, and you just load in, and off we go. So yeah, it's fun enough in short bursts. And if you're going to play it, solo, it's good. If you're going to play it co-op, just make sure you're always playing with the same people. But I probably would point you towards, various wipeouts and pacer and things like that before going towards Gravity Chase, which is a shame because I thought it might be quite decent, but never mind.
Oh dear.
That's about it, really. That's about it. I feel like I played a lot more this week, but I can't think of anything at all.
That comes to mind.
Yeah. So we'll go from there. The only other thing
You're
I
lucky,
can't talk about.
You're lucky that you've played less games.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be entering any achievement hunting.
I wish there's about 20 of those games I played off my list, my mind. There's one game that really annoyed me, which was called Life or Fly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played it, but it's basically like you pretend to be a fly in like this orb thing. You have to go through like checkpoints, but there's loads of commentary whilst doing it. But the commentary is really quiet, and there's no fucking subtitles options. So I'm just trying to listen to go, what's he saying? Like, turn the TV up too loud, but then as soon as you start getting the orb, that's too loud. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that game.
So I sacked that off straight away. I got really annoyed. I was like, fuck that.
Fair enough. Well, we can talk about more games that we have played, and hopefully we enjoy next week. And again, once Daniel's back, hopefully we'll get back to the fearsome fivesome. I don't know if that's a name.
If he's allowed.
If he's allowed, yeah. Please remember the safe word by then. Cool. So let's get into the sort of final roundup of the show, gentlemen. Again,
yes.
Thank you very much if you've made this far. You're a hero. We've got many reviews over at xboxtavern.com. A few I put up this evening, actually, while I was doing it while we were kicking off. A Year of Springs by Daniel. Nobody Saved the World by Graham. Gravity Chase. And then there's bits and pieces. James put up his preview review, if that makes sense, of the Anacrusis. Turns out, I don't think we'd bother playing it in. I thought it might be something we could quite get into, but it sounds a bit naff, at least in its current state. So we should probably skip that over for now. And then Windjammers too. I don't know, anybody ever played Windjammers? I hear a lot about it.
I actually downloaded it, but I was going to have a little crack at it, but I haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, so AJ reviewed that. It's quite high on it. Give it a 9. Yeah, it seems like a pretty decent. Again, it's maybe like a shorter arcade style experience, but
that's why I'm getting in on it.
Yeah, definitely give it a go. However, we talk about our good friend Game Pass all the time. If anybody else wants to spend several billion and get access to the games, that was a terrible segue. Ross, what's coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, that was.
I was trying to make some sort of joke about spending too much money on games to Game Pass, but I've lost it completely.
I've actually forgot my job for this week, so I'm literally just pulling up the list just now. So games added to Game Pass in January. So I don't know if you've covered it. So I'll go back a week and that's about it. So starting from January 20th, we had Paparazzi, console PC, Death's Door, cloud, console and PC, Windjammers, console and PC, Rainbow Six Extraction, console and PC. People who might have been distracted by that news might not have seen that the deluxe edition of Siege also went on a Game Pass. So that was console and PC. Windjammers 2, which was cloud, console and PC. Hitman Trilogy, which I'm sure Ian will quite happily jump through and play again.
No, I'm upset. I'm angry at that. There was no Windows stack.
Oh, they don't double stack in the Cheetos. Oh,
no, I'm grumpy. They just no, I'm not going to go back to it. No, I will go back to some of the escalation modes and the arcade mode. I do really want to play the 7 Deadly Sins, but only when it's on sale.
Windjammers 2. Oh, sorry, I said Windjammers 2. And the last one was Taiko no Tatsujin, the Drum Master, which was console and PC, which is one of the ones that are still to come, which is January 27th.
Nice. So I think we spoke about it, a few weeks ago, whatever. But January's kicking off like a fucking trooper.
Yeah,
got some excellent games coming in already, and we haven't even reached the end of the month yet. So
Mass Effect, Outer Wilds, Rainbow Six, Extraction, and Siege, and that's all by the 20th.
And Hitman.
And Hitman,
I'm looking forward to trying them at last because I've always wanted to proper try getting into them. But nice, Ian.
Hi.
Is leaving us?
Yes, we have 3 games leaving us this month. Nowhere Prophet, Xeno Crisis, and Cyber Shadows.
Nice. Well, I haven't played
Xeno Crisis.
So...
I played Nowhere Prophet. I enjoyed that one. I think I reviewed that one. It was alright.
Any good?
Yeah, it's kind of a card-based kind of RPG style one. So, if you're into sort of tactical card-based games, it's not too bad. It's got quite an interesting storyline. It forces you. There's like loads of different styles to play, so it's never like the same playthrough each time. So it's quite interesting.
Nice, cool,
nice.
Well, go check them out. I think Cyber Shadow got quite a lot of love as sort of like old school Metroid and Ninja Gaiden style, old harder 2D action game, but I never got around to trying it. So, Graham, Games of Gold. Those people who still like to redeem them. What we got?
Yep.
Free games for all.
There is
no auto redeem now, don't they?
Don't know about that, but it might be from January the 1st to the 31st. Aground, which I played, is pretty decent and quite a fun playthrough, from January the 16th to February 15th. And Space Invaders Infinity Gene from January the 16th to the 31st, which is crazy mental. I had a dabble on that. It's weird.
Nice. Good. So go get them, download them, because as you say, they're free. And if you decide that one day you think, give it a go, you got it. Right. Anything else, gentlemen? Oh, Jesus, excuse me. Before we wrap the thing up and go, because it's a lot later than I expected by now.
Yes.
Dan's going to be angry.
We proper got into it, didn't we? All right. Well, I'm not reading that. Let's get into the butt plug, shall we? Thank you very much.
What plug was it today? I missed it.
No one's changed it, so I'm not reading the same one twice in a row. That's not good. So thanks for tuning in. We've been Xbox Tavern. You can find us at Xbox Tavern, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Anywhere you want to find it, it's fine. XboxTavern.com for all written stuff. YouTube, Xbox Tavern. YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern official, which is where we do this podcast each and every Sunday, 8 p.m.
ish.
Thank you. And thank you very much for listening. You're a hero. We love you. And you can follow myself at ENXN. You can follow Goodman Graham at
Graham Reaper.
Ian.
Nutty Ray.
And Scottish Gruff Ross.
Chaotic 8389.
Thank you very much. We will see you again next week. Peace.
Farewell.
And love. Well, Rumble next week.
It is Royal Rumble. I was going
Whoa. That's right, isn't it?
We still watching it, Jay?